Okay, so tell me a little bit about the book concept and kind of rebranding some of these children's books, these travel books, all of that.
Well, it's just a really cool idea that I don't even remember how we came up with it. I think Dave Hoffner, I don't know, Dave, people who listen to rock bands, he's in Separation. He was talking about something that was kind of related to it, and then I remember kind of going, we should stick it in books. And he worked at a bookstore, and then at first we were thinking of putting it in textbooks. Not textbooks.
But then take them on tour, and it'd be like 100-pound, box of books,
exactly. And there's a Salvation Army that's a couple blocks from where our studio is in Stillwater, and there'll be people just dump stuff there. And one day I went by and there's like 100 books. I was like, hey, let's take these out on the road. I remember we were like, no, we'll only take 50 of them. We sold those in a minute. And it wasn't like, it was just something that was fun, And selling CDs on the road has always been one of those things where it's like, you just never know, like, do people really want to buy them, or how does it go, how does it work out? And doing this, like, the concept I think was so fun and so novel and so unique.
It's so novel, and it gives people a connection. It's like, I remember reading this book, or I've always wanted to read a book like this, or something like that, or they just see something that's really weird.
The Da Vinci Code
and
went really fast.
Yeah, and they just they have to have it on top of wanting to see.
I understand that there was a video contest. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, this is like part of a way of just sort of doing some kind of interesting promotions for OKFMI and getting the community involved and getting the word out about what they're trying to do. Because it's going to be, they've really helped us out with the nonprofit, and they're going to be a fantastic source for some bands in Oklahoma to get things done they couldn't normally get done. And so this was just sort of like a promotional contest, and it was kind of, it happened really quickly. It happened, like within about 2 or 3 weeks that it took place. But it was just, and actually it's a really good idea how to make a video, I think. I was just thinking it'd be cool for us, we up the money a little bit and give people a couple months to make a music video for us.
And what was talk a little bit about the concept.
Well, people were supposed to just take one element of their day-to-day life and then change the way we perceive that thing. And I think the concept was a little bit unclear, but we had a lot of different interpretations of it, which was kind of cool. But like the winners was, I don't know if I'm supposed to say who the winners is, but the winners was a guy who, he was like, you go to a laundromat, and when you go inside the laundromat, I guess there's weird people inside the washing machine. He lives inside the washing machine. It was a really cool video.
What does something like Dfest mean to you? This kind of continuing success that it's having.
It's really cool to be able to come and see all our friends that are in other bands and stuff like that. That's what I really look forward to, and seeing all these great bands that are from Oklahoma. We don't get to see them often unless we play with them, because we're either making a record or playing somewhere else or something like that. So you get here, it's kind of like a band family reunion for one point. But and there's other great headliners too. But I think for us, the best thing is just to see the other local bands and hang out.
Right.
I think it's for Oklahoma bands, I think a major benefit is getting a chance to really see some of the industry face to face, and getting a chance, and that's not always like in a realistic sense. It's not always in a good way. There will be people here who are looking for young bands that they kind of suck the blood out of, and there are a lot of people like that. And we had a little bit of blood sucked out of us when we first started as a band, because you just always feel like you got to spend money to do something. There's just all this sort of anxiety. But then again, we met Scott Booker here. And so our relationship with him began through Dfest, and just in terms of connections, there's a lot of connections that are built here. And for Oklahoma artists, I do think this is really important for Oklahoma, because it's very difficult for us to get around the country. It's really expensive to do a tour. We're not living on the East Coast where you can tour Boston and New York and Philadelphia in a weekend, and that would be a really great way to build some connections to get people interested. The closest thing we have is Austin, and then Austin's so inundated that you go down and tour Austin, it's like no one cares about your band from Oklahoma or whatever. But the thing is that bands in Oklahoma are really great and have a lot of talent. It's just they have a timeline. They got to get something happen with about 3 or 4 years, and you start losing that sort of drive. And Oklahoma needs more of that because there are a lot of great bands that can do something, and they just need to have people believing in them.
So